guys, what's going on? It's your morning teenage commentator, Silent Scale here, and I always get crap for my intro. Like, people are always like, oh, it's so stupid, and oh, you say about 10 trillion times. Guess what? I don't care. And if you want to unsubscribe because you don't like my intro, close the door on your way out. Anyway, today's video is about my first high school suspension. So, if you don't know, this happened about like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I talked about it in a video, but I didn't really explain what happened. So, I'm going to go ahead and explain what happened since it's kind of blown over since then. So, what happened is, the PE class and the weightlifting class changed clothes in the same locker room, and I am in the weightlifting class. We go to separate like places. Like, we go to the weight room, obviously, and if you're gonna hear my dog, he's like kind of freaking out in the background. But we go to the weightlifting room, and they go to the gym. And so, well, like I said, we have to change in the same locker room. And there's this kid who goes to the PE class. And he's like the type of kid that like really thinks he's the shit, but he really isn't. And so he actually, him and a few of his friends were like talking, like not crap, like making a joke. And then the one kid that I ended up getting in a fight with started bringing my mom into it. And so I actually changed in the same locker room with my brother also, who is in 11th grade, and so he's bigger than, well, I'm bigger than him, but he's a lot better fighter than me, and so he didn't hear it at first, and so then I had come out, and I'm like, Carl, which is my brother, you guys know him, he's been on the channel before, well, a long time ago he was on the channel, but I was like, dude, you know, they're talking crap about our mom, what are you gonna do about it, what should I do about it, and he just said, all right, you know, if it happens again, tell me, and I'll handle it. So, a few days pass by, and he doesn't really say anything. Like, it's been kind of quiet in the locker room, and for like 2 straight days, we ended up changing at separate times. Like, I don't know how that worked, but I think he got to the locker room a lot earlier than I did, because whenever I got in and started changing, he was like pretty much already done, because my previous class was like all the way across the school, so I had a really far walk to get to this locker room. So anyway, the next week on a Monday, I believe, he brings it up again. And once again, lucky for him, my brother's not in there. And so he brings back the mom jokes, and I'm like, all right, listen, I would stop here. I'm going to give you one warning to stop. Or something like that. I told him, dude, just stop, or something like that. And so he stopped. He left the locker room. And in my weightlifting, I said I could easily beat the crap out of him. To one of his friends. And I believe his friend had told him that. And so when we got into the locker room the next day, at this point, he was trying to get me to fight him. He was like, okay, hey, I did this to your mom, or I rammed your mom, stuff like that. And so that next day, I just said, all right, that's it. Like, he in my head. And he had left, and at the end of the class, he had flipped me off and said, I did your mom again. At this point, he was very unlucky because my brother was in the locker room. And so my brother goes into him and pushes him into the wall, and he slams his head in the wall. And this kid, and then right as my brother is going to punch him in the face, one of the upperclassmen stops my brother, because this is a freshman and my brother's in 11th grade, and that's just not a good idea. Like, he can get in a lot more trouble than that kid can. And so he stopped my brother from getting into that fight. And I'm in my underwear at this point, and everyone in the locker room is circled around us, waiting for us to get in this fight. And I'm just like, really? I'm in my underwear. If you want to do this some other time, sure. And that's like, he pretty much took that as I pussied out. And so I had come out of the locker room, and then in the hallway we met. And I called him, or he said something about my mom again, and I'm like, you're a little pussy. And so as I'm walking away, he goes and punches me in the face right as I'm walking away. And then as I'm going to punch him back, literally a kid stepped in between us, and then the teacher was right there and stepped in between us, and that's literally all that happened. And so I'm getting in trouble, and I didn't even get to punch him in the face. So, quite honestly, I think I could have won pretty. I think I could. So, I don't know. It just kind of sucked that. Like, I understand getting suspended, but over something that stupid, like where I didn't really even get to do anything, that was kind of stupid. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I wish I could have gotten in an actual fight, and the suspension would have been worth it. But you know, it is what it is, and I'm not gonna dwell on it very much. Like, the kid doesn't even talk to me. We don't like talk to each other at all, and nothing's really happened. So I consider it over. He considers it over. Like, so I'm just gonna let it be. And sure, if it happens again, we'll figure something out. But until that happens, it's cool. I'm done with it. So yeah, guys. But if you enjoyed, please hit that like button and leave a comment as to like your first high school suspension, because this is my only high school suspension, and hopefully it stays that way because I missed like 3 days of school for that fight, and I've never been so behind in schoolwork. So. Yeah, guys, that's it for today. Like I said, leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later, and peace.